The hollow veil. Detective Lila Harper's flashlight cut through the fog like a blade. The woods outside Black Hollow, Washington, swallowed sound whole. Even her breath seemed muted. She crouched beside a moss-covered tree, her gloved fingers brushing against a torn scrap of fabric, burgundy wool, the same shade as her sister's coat. Mara's coat. Lila hadn't slept in 3 days. Not since Mara's frantic voicemail, *, they're not gone, Lila. The townsfolk, they're lying. The Hollows, they're alive. Don't trust, *, the line had died. Now, standing in the heart of the forest that had claimed 7 people in 2 months, Lila wondered if her sister had finally cracked under the weight of their shared past, or if she'd stumbled onto something far worse. Black Hollow was a town that thrived on silence. Nestled in the shadow of the Cascade Mountains, its streets were lined with Victorian-era homes, their paint peeling like dead skin. The locals spoke in hushed tones, avoiding eye contact. When Lila flashed her badge, no longer FBI, just a private investigator's permit, the diner waitress had spilled coffee and whispered, *, you shouldn't be here. Not after what happened to the others. The others were the vanished, a hiker, a bartender, a college student, a librarian, a mechanic, a child, and now Mara. No bodies. No ransom notes. Just a pattern. Each disappearance occurred under a new moon, and each victim had been seen hours earlier near the town's derelict chapel. Lila's boots crunched over frost as she approached the chapel. Its steeple leaned precariously, the cross atop it rusted into a skeletal claw. Inside, the air reeked of damp earth and copper. Her light swept over pews crusted with mold, then froze on the far wall. A symbol was carved into the stone, a circle split by a jagged line, its edges stained black. Lila recognized it from Mara's research notes, pages strewn across her apartment floor 2 weeks prior. Local folklore, Mara had scribbled. *, the hollow veil, a rift between worlds, opened every 50 years. 7 souls to seal it. 7 sacrifices. *. The Black Hollow Library was a mausoleum of forgotten books. The librarian, Mrs. Greer, watched Lila like a hawk as she pulled brittle newspapers from 1973. Headlines screamed, *, 6 missing in Black Hollow tragedy, 7th body found in chapel. *. The 7th victim in 73 had been a teenage girl, her throat slit on the altar. The case was ruled a cult suicide, but the article's photo made Lila's blood run cold, the same symbol from the chapel, painted in blood on the girl's forehead. "You're digging up graves, detective." Lila turned. A man leaned against the shelves, mid-30s, with unkempt hair and a camera slung over his shoulder. Elias Carter, the town's only journalist. "They'll kill you if you keep looking," he said, voice low. "Or worse. Worse than vanishing. Vanishing's the easy part." Elias handed her a journal. Waterlogged, its pages filled with frantic handwriting. "My grandfather's. He was the sheriff in 73. He knew the truth." The entries detailed a ritual, 7 sacrifices to appease the veil, a boundary between worlds that thinned every half-century. Fail to feed it, and the veil would tear, unleashing entities that mirrored human form but lacked souls. "They wear faces like masks," the sheriff had written. And they hunger. Elias nodded to the symbol. "The rift's opening again. Your sister knew too much. Now they'll use her to close it." Midnight. The new moon hung like a void overhead. Lila and Elias crept through the woods, following coordinates from the journal. The air thickened, each step heavier than the last. "You feel that?" Elias whispered. "Like walking through tar." A low hum vibrated in Lila's teeth. The trees ahead twisted into unnatural spirals, bark split to reveal glistening red pulp beneath. Not sap. Blood. They emerged into a clearing. A stone altar dominated the center, stained dark. Around it stood 7 figures in hooded robes, chanting in guttural tones. Between them, bound and gagged, was Mara. Lila's pistol trembled in her grip. "Police! Step away!" The chanting ceased. The figures turned, and their hoods fell back. Lila stifled a scream. Their faces were stretched, features melting like wax. Asterisk not human. Not anymore, asterisk. One lunged. Lila fired. The bullet tore through its chest, but it didn't slow. Elias swung a rusted iron rod, cold steel, hurts them, slicing across the creature's neck. Black ooze sprayed as it collapsed. Chaos erupted. The creatures swarmed, claws raking. Lila grabbed Mara, slicing her bonds with a knife. "Run!" But Mara froze, staring past her. "Lila, look!" Behind the altar, the air rippled. A vertical slit appeared, widening into a gaping maw. Beyond it stretched a twisted reflection of the forest, trees skeletal, sky pulsing red. Shapes writhed in the distance, humanoid, but grotesquely elongated. The hollow veil, asterisk. "They're coming through." Elias shouted, grappling with the creature. "Close the rift." "How?" Lila demanded. Mara's voice was hollow. 7 souls. That's what the journal said. They need 7 to seal it. Lila's blood went cold. 7 sacrifices. The creatures weren't the killers, they were the failed guardians. The real cult was the town itself, sacrificing outsiders to protect their own. Mara was the 7th. But the veil was already tearing. A clawed hand emerged, then a gaunt face with too many eyes. Elias swore. "There's another way." The original ritual, the sheriff wrote that the cult's leader could seal it by sacrificing themselves. A life for a life. Lila met his gaze. "Do you know who the leader is?" Elias hesitated. Then, slowly, he smiled, a jagged, broken thing. "You never asked why I helped you." Before she could react, he plunged a dagger into his own chest. Blood hit the altar. The veil shuddered, the rift screeching as it sealed. The creatures disintegrated into ash. Mara collapsed, sobbing. Lila stared at Elias's body, his journal slipping from his coat. The final page, unseen until now, bore a photo of the 1973 cult, and a young Elias Carter standing beside his grandfather, the sheriff. Black Hollow burned. The chapel, the woods, the homes, all consumed by flames as the town's secrets turned to smoke. Lila and Mara fled, never glancing back. But in the rearview mirror, Lila glimpsed a figure on the roadside, Elias, whole and smiling, his reflection winking out as they passed. Some rifts never fully close.